Hello, people of the interwebs. Welcome back. If you don't know me, I'm James. I'm a product designer, and I like designing music tech related things, music devices, music instruments, all that kind of stuff. Uh, what's up, Elk? My most loyal of all fans, of all fan. Thank you for joining in, as always. Great to have you here. Uh, Little intro if you're new to these videos. This is the 11th stream that I've done in this series, and it's about designing a drum machine. So I have here my CAD. We're doing mechanical design, or mechanical slash industrial design, and it's a digital device. It's a hardware device, and it's a device which makes drum sounds primarily. Lol, your chat is way quick today. That's good to hear. Awesome. Yeah, I noticed actually that when I was checking everything was online, it didn't look like there was too much delay. So that's good. So I just met with the guys from the team last night, the other guys who I'm working on this project with, which was awesome. We had a meeting which was, I don't know, we didn't set how long it should go for, but we started at 8:30 p.m. and finished at about 12:30 a.m. So it was a long one, but it was good. Everybody had progress to show, which was really cool. Obviously, I showed the guys where I'm up to with setting up the foundations for the CAD and creating something between a mid-fi and hi-fi prototype. We also want to do some lo-fi prototypes in parallel to this, but this is something like setting up the CAD to be ready for the final design, but also for some midway sort of testing platform. And what else? Yeah, the other guys also had some things to update us on. So Jan, he's electrical engineer and also a developer, and he's doing a lot of firmware stuff, but like embedded system type stuff, but also he's been working on, I guess we can call it the operating system, with another guy, Jarno. There's two of our friends who are working on this project, both from the Netherlands, and yeah, they basically have set up like the groundwork for the operating system. So the audio backend, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not a developer. But essentially there is like an operating system to run on the CPU that's ready, and there is some kind of application ready to run on it. It doesn't do anything yet. I think it produces a sine wave, but it's just all testing to set up the platform and check that everything's going to run on the device, which is cool. And they kind of have like a node-based assembler for setting up how everything is going to be built, I guess. Oh yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's going good. And we have another friend, Kais, who's working with us, who's been brainstorming some different ways we can implement different kinds of, not to use the buzzword, but artificial intelligence or machine learning. And it will not be a chatbot, but potentially something along the lines of intelligent blending between samples, and navigating through samples, those kinds of things. Something we discussed and I've talked about before is that we are thinking that the device could be able to run, could operate as a sampler as well as a drum synthesizer. I think in the beginning we're going to focus on the sampling, basically because it's the most future-proof option, because you can always update the sounds. And I think we want to treat the sounds as just that, like sounds. So whether it's samples or synthesis, the end result for a user is you want drum sounds. So maybe there can be some sort of blending between sampling and synthesized sounds as well. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, so that's some stuff on the AI side. And also we want to look into some ways that we can intelligently navigate through grooves and potentially blend between grooves as well, which will probably be in the form of MIDI. So having actual drum beats that, being able to blend between different drum beats and stuff that are pre-programmed, those kinds of things. So excited about that too. True, hopefully you guys can get time stretching without pitch shifting. Yeah, I think that should be possible for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how much is involved there, on like how CPU intensive that will be, but I'm guessing there will be some kind of time stretching for sure, because we definitely want to be able to manipulate the tempo of drum beats. Because our goal for the project is to be able to make it feel natural, like a real drummer in a sense, and be able to have direct real-time control over the feel and the tempo and everything. So that will require probably a lot of time bending. I know my Octatrack had it, but my tracker sure didn't. Oh, I didn't know that about the tracker. Yeah, I can't make any promises yet. It's all sort of hypothetical stuff at the moment, but yeah, it was good to talk with the guys. I also briefly spoke with them about whether we can do an all-together stream where I can introduce everybody, and they seemed okay with that. So hopefully we can do that soon, but we just need to find a time and maybe get a bit of an agenda. I thought about whether we should just record a meeting and just introduce all of ourselves in a recording and then I upload it, but I think probably it's nicer if we do it live. And Elk, even if it's just you watching, I think it would be nice at least to have, if you have any questions, those guys will definitely be able to answer some technical things better than I can. So yeah, hopefully we can do that too. Another thing, I managed to fix this lens. I think I updated the firmware, so it does seem to be focusing on me, although sometimes it feels a little bit slow, but yeah, it seems to work okay. And I changed the timer for my my chat messages here, so they should stay for 2 minutes now instead of 1 minute, and I reduced the transparency a little bit so you can hopefully read the messages a little bit better. Yeah, but other than that, let's get back into the CAD. Yeah, hopefully you can see the messages a bit better with all this text underneath it. I also spoke to the guys. That's okay, matey. I'm a noob. I probably won't be asking too many questions once they begin to explain their vision. Dude, I would love it if you did ask questions, and you don't need to feel like you can't. And all the guys are super nice. I don't know if you've spoken to Yasser before, but he's very chill. All the guys are super chill, so I'm sure they'd love to hear from somebody and just love to see that somebody is interested, And yeah, they have a better understanding of what we can and can't do, like whether we can we can time stretch without pitch shifting. I think Yasser and Jan would be able to answer that pretty quickly. Maybe in passing on the mod forum, but I haven't chatted with them personally. Yeah, Yasser he's a bit elusive. Sometimes he's in the forum, but sometimes not. But yeah, you get to see it when he joins the call. Hopefully, that he's super chill to talk to. You've probably seen him on videos and stuff on the mod page as well. I showed the guys the pie thing. Yes's sort of his first comments were like, I don't know if it makes sense for us to put the Pi into this prototype because the final thing won't have a full-size Raspberry Pi in it. It'll either have something like the compute module or something else, like how do I describe this? Like a a SOM that is like what's that connector called? DIM? SODIMM, I think it's called. Whatever. Something like this, like a system on module, basically a chip on a RAM stick, something like that. Could be, or it could be a compute module 4 if they start making them again, or a compute module 5 if that comes out sometime soon. We spoke a bit about control layouts and stuff and what kind of elements we want to have, whether we want drum pads and those sorts of things. We're still not 100% sure on that, and we'll need to do some testing on it for sure. We also considered whether we would, like, we're still feeling like a 7-inch 720p display makes a lot of sense, so you can have a lot of controls around it. It might be that we decide to orient it vertically instead of horizontally, depending on how we want the piano roll, I guess you can call it, to be laid out. Yeah. The reduced transparency on the comments is perfect. I know you were going to address that after the last stream. Yeah, I think that it looks a bit easier to read now, hopefully. I went from 60% to like 90%, so it should be a bit better. I'm glad the lens is working. Yeah, me too. I was really worried that this 800 euro lens was not going to work, but it seems to work, so I'm happy. Now, I had the Pi 4 in this corner, facing like this way, like with the USB and the Ethernet at the back here. So the USB-C, this one, was on the side. Probably in the end, we will power it from USB-C, and this is another big exciting thing that I want to talk about. I know this will get you excited as well, Elk. But yeah, so we decided to try putting the Pi in this corner, because then the power cable will be at the back, and the Ethernet we're probably not going to use, but the A ports and stuff we'll probably use. Now, I mentioned, yes, I thought that it was a little bit strange, the idea of having this on this prototype, like having the whole Pi inside the prototype. And it is a little bit strange, but my reasoning for doing this, I guess, what I explained to him is that I want to treat this prototype also a bit like a mechanical proof of concept as well. So I think it'd be cool if we can have everything contained in the one device, even though it will change when we change the Pi to something else. Yeah, I think it'd be good just to have a contained thing. Yeah. Like they talked a lot about, we can just do some kind of sketchy wiring of different modules together to prototype, and I said, yeah, let's do that, but that can come before we make this thing. This is going to be like a more mid-fi to hi-fi prototype that will be a little bit more polished, but still not final. But yeah, so USB-C charging. I spoke to them about this last night as well. I spoke to Jan about this. He's the electrical engineer, and I was a little bit worried, to be honest, that he was going to say, "I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Like, it might be too difficult," because I had memories when we were working together at Mod that he, for some reason, I had memories that he wasn't into the idea of powering a device over USB-C. But when I brought it up, to my surprise, both Jan and Jesse were kind of like, "Yeah, it sounds sweet. I think it'd be really cool if we could do that." I was like, "Hell yeah!" So, the only concern we had is about the robustness of USB-C ports, because they are quite small. Could be, you know, there's a potential that you could break a cable if you're carrying things around, or like setting things up in live venues in the dark, those kinds of things. But the reality is, like, most devices like this would be powered from a barrel jack, which, barrel jacks are a little bit maybe more sturdy than USB-C, but not really that much different. Like, yeah. And because of the USB regulations in Europe and potentially upcoming in the US, barrel jacks are going to be harder and harder to find, and USB-C has a lot of other benefits as well. Bro, USB-C is the way forward, in my opinion. If this thing can do multi-tracking over USB, I'm down. That I'm not sure about yet. I'm not saying it's not possible. Could very well be possible, but I still don't know. But I can't see any reason why it shouldn't be possible. I mean, one of the things we were thinking about doing for a prototype was, rather than designing our own audio circuitry, is just plugging a USB audio interface into this, and that should work. So can't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to multi-track over USB-C. It's just about the protocol and making things work as a class compliant audio device, I guess. Don't know how hard that is, but I think in theory it should be possible. On my pedals and the Hydrosynth take a barrel jack. Only my pedals and the Hydrosynth synths take a barrel jack in my setup. Everything else is USB-B and USB-C for power. Okay, cool. Yeah. Which devices are you using that are powered by USB-C? Because that's good to know that companies are starting to do that more now. Basically, from what Jan said, he thinks we should be able to just run everything off 5 volts. Not sure how many amps we need yet. Don't know how much juice the display is going to need, but yeah, ideally you would just be able to plug in any like decent phone charger and it should work, ideally. Roland SH4D, yeah. Bridge 6 MIDI controller, Oxy 1 sequencer, all USB-C. Cool, let me check these out. I think I've already looked up the Roland before, but I didn't look at the back. Okay, nice. Yeah, I've even seen some audio interfaces are moving to USB-C as well. Bridge 6 MIDI controller. This has a barrel jack too. What the hell? Is that the USB cable? Like, that's where the USB-C port is, but that looks like a barrel jack connector, but the barrel jack is there. It's weird. And Oxy 1 sequencer. Oh yeah. Wow, that thing has got some jacks on it. Oh yeah, and USB-C on the side. Nice. You can do barrel jack power, but I use USB-C. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think the concern we, or maybe I had, is that if we power it with USB-C, that there might be potential for audio noise. But at the moment, we're mostly only considering audio outputs for this device. Not ruling out audio inputs for recording samples, those kinds of things, but I think it's mostly just gonna output audio, which makes things a lot easier with noise because we don't have any inputs like in a guitar processing device like the mod. Um, you're putting a guitar signal in there, which can have noise in the cable, and you then gain up the signal a lot. So any tiny amounts of noise that are in there will be made very obvious. But yeah, so we won't be doing that. So noise shouldn't be a problem, I guess. And what else was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, something else Jan mentioned was that with USB-C, it shouldn't be possible to create a ground loop. Not sure if that's true. I'm not saying it's not. Obviously, I don't know, but it sounds promising to me. So yeah, now that's been a lot of babbling for 23 minutes without any work. So what should I do? I think I can do one of two things. I think I might have a look at actually placing this Raspberry Pi and making a cutout in the board so that I know where it's going to go, and then see if I can fit everything around that. The other thing I could do is model the potentiometers. I got some emails back from the potentiometer suppliers and from a friend in the industry who deals with this company a lot, and neither were able to get any CAD files. And yeah, actually, the company Taiwan Alpha, they just emailed me saying we can only supply 2D drawings. So that means I have to model it myself. But, that's not the end of the world. It just takes a bit of time. But I might just do one stream where I do that, because it'll probably take a while. But yeah, I think in this one, I'm going to try to place the Pi properly and make a nice cutout for it and figure out how I can plug it into the other board. That would be cool to watch as well. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm going to get started on this. And I think what I need to do is get some sketch data into this file so that I have something to put into my skeleton model. I did see already that there are why can't I see that sketch? There are a lot of sketches in this model already, which I can probably just copy. Like this sketch, for example, it's just a rectangle, but it marks the positions of these pins, which is perfect. So what else do we have? Okay, that looks like the center points for some components. Be nice if we had a center point for where the cable connects, but maybe we don't. Camera connector. Y distance. Just want to find all the useful sketches in here that I can reference things to. How come this is not... Just missing a mate. Missing two mates. That's better. I just noticed that there was a little minus symbol here, which means that it's not fully defined. So its position was not fixed. But we fixed that. I think its center point was fixed, but it just wasn't parallel to the top plane and the front plane. Hopefully we have in here, yeah, the outer dimensions, and hopefully there is also the hole locations. M2.5 clearance holes. Why didn't they put these ones there? What's that hole? Okay, that's a pinhole. Where are these holes? I don't know. Let me just take a bit of time to look around at these. What's been happening with you, Elk? I saw you got some patch cables, or what was it, cable snakes, and you're expecting the new interface soon? I think that was right. Yeah, I ordered new interface for more IO. And you got the Scarlett 18920? Need to route stuff out to hardware effects. Cheaped out. Oh, you got the Behringer 18920 or something? 1820? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure that it's probably better quality than the smaller one. Usually if you buy the bigger interfaces, they're a bit more juiced up. Ah, this is a pattern. 58 millimeters. I wouldn't have done that as a pattern, but who am I to judge? So this should be 58 millimeters, yeah. These dimensions aren't doing anything, they're driven. I just want to see what they are. I probably don't need that much more in here at the moment. I'll put this in. It offers direct monitoring, which I need in my setup. Yeah, direct monitoring is very useful. My first interface I got was a Yamaha something, and it didn't have direct monitoring, which was really bad because it had a lot of latency in recording, and when I would try to play and listen to it, it was like too much delay, which yeah, wasn't good. But what are you using the direct monitoring for? Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I'm basically doing the thing we talked about with the audio interface racked with a patch bay. I'm hooking my secondary patch bay up with the hardware effects only and the patch bay for wait I lost like concentration. With the audio interface racked with the patch bay, right? I'm hooking up my secondary patch bay with the hardware effects only. Okay. And the bay is for instruments and interface I/O. The cable snakes basically took all the stress of cable management out, and the snakes are 8 balanced mono or 8 unbalanced stereo for $16. That's pretty cool. But so they're the same on both ends? Like it's just... Or do they merge into a different connector? I use direct monitoring when I'm jamming without my screens up. Ah, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's nice. That you can just like listen to it as if that it's not plugged into an interface, but the interface can also capture it. I should probably put something in to show where the jacks are actually. Oh, those dimensions are weird. Whatever. I'm gonna clean this up soon. Just gonna put in a bunch of lines for now. That'll do. The snakes are basically just 3-foot patch cables with shielding that are bundled. Ah, yeah. You can cut the black casing off and they're 8 individual patch cables. Got it. Okay, so it just comes packaged, tidies it up a bit, I guess. 24 patch cables for $16 rather than 4 regular audio cables. $60, sorry. Yeah, that's a good deal. And balanced too, which is nice. How am I gonna draw this? Do I want to make it more complicated than a rectangle? Come on, Ethernet ports are a nice, clean rectangle. Why do USB-A ports have to be all weird like that? Can I get a point, please? Guess not. Can I get a line? Guess not. Hello? There we go. Wait, maybe I can do that. Whatever. Yeah, that's a lot of cables, man. So how many hardware effects have you got? I'm starting to speak a bit lazy. Five hardware pedals and dwarf. 6 in total. Okay, cool. Oh, stereo. Are you using any unbalanced stereo, or do they have individual balanced ins and outs? How do I want to draw this? So this is not going to come through the hole. Can probably just make the hole in the enclosure in line with these outside edges. I think that'll be fine. Well, I just moved to Meris and they take TRS in and dual TS out. TRS in and dual TS out. So one TRS in for unbalanced stereo and 2 unbalanced monos out. It has really been destroying my ability to route because one of the bays is balanced mono, the other is TRS. Yeah, that's a bit weird. What is it? Meris? They make pedals, right? Why did they do that? Why would they do that? Sorry, Maris, no offense, but why? Wish they hadn't. I'm trying to think of a use case that warrants that. Unless it's just that that's all they could fit horizontally. Why? I mean, if you're going to plug something into this, it's either going to be a guitar or another pedal, if you're a guitarist. But another pedal would have 2 mono outputs if it was stereo. So you would need to combine them with like a Y cable to get the input in here. And a guitar cable is not stereo, so you wouldn't plug a guitar directly into here unless it's just mono. I don't get it. Someone at Meris explained this to me. They rely on breakout cables for sure. The MIDI implementation is ridiculous too, and I had to buy and $90 adapter. Oh, they're doing MIDI over a TRS jack. Like a quarter-inch TRS. It can do balance mono, but I use them for stereo. So they do balance mono with 2 jacks. What the hell, man? Sorry, no offense, Maris, but this is a bit, as we say in Australia, it's a bit how you going. Okay. See this one where they got a bit more space on the back. They've got individual ins and individual outs. I have a feeling it's just a space constraint. The new form factor is not dumb. The LVX is their new box. Is that this one? Yeah. Yeah, this is a lot better. And they've got real MIDI jacks. And a USB-C port. This is much better. Are these balanced, do you know? No idea, to be honest. In my opinion, don't want to be too opinionated, but in my opinion, unbalanced jacks are like, unless you're really penny pinching, don't do it. If these are unbalanced, then that's, to me, that's a bit how you going. This is much better though. I hope these are balanced. Just $600 pedal. I bought a Polymoon and Autobit Junior for the same cost as LVX. Whew. Yeah, that is not cheap. They sound good at least. Yes? Okay. So it's worth the pain. Well, that's a good good end to the story. Well, I'm waiting for Autobit and Polymoon and MIDI IO to arrive. Mercury 7 is the only reverb I need, and that's also from Maris. God, for a music tech designer, my knowledge of devices is pretty bad, isn't it? Sorry, not to be judgy again, but this one is going to be aimed at Raspberry Pi. Look at this. What are they doing with these jacks? Maybe this model is not accurate, but why is this one further back than this one, and this one's further back again? Can you not align the front of the jacks? Same thing here. What is going on? Oh man. Yeah, I did some of their line, delay, reverb, and bit crusher. I just did. Those are my most used effects for sound design. Okay. I have to check them out. Looks like you got some work to do. I do. I need to actually do some work. This is a bit tricky because I want to hide all the solid bodies. But this is an assembly. How can I do that? Might have to just hide all the parts. Yep, I'll just do that. Okay, that's going to be my center. That's nice that the center line is on that line, because I can... What the hell? Where are my extra tools? Where's my add vertex button? No, that's not what I want. This. And I'll do the same thing here. Just drawing in some lines so I can reference the positions of everything. And because everything like this is upside down, I'm going to want to turn this around in the other project. I want to get rid of all the horizontal and vertical constraints and replace them with right angle constraints. Then I'll be able to rotate. Actually, I don't need to do that. No, I don't need to do that. All right, let me just add some more stuff in here that can position that. Need to split this. To get their vertical position. Need to split this to get their horizontal positions. And I need to get this guy's horizontal position. I'll probably delete that line. Okay. I think that should work. Wait. I don't think I can insert an assembly into a sketch. No, I can't. So maybe I need to save this as a part. Let me try it. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. Okay, don't know what happened. Let's see if I can open it. Ooh. Got rid of my sketch. What should I do? Maybe I just make a sketch model of the I can probably use this. Yeah, I can probably use this. Just need to link everything up again. It's gonna be a bit annoying, but that's alright. Yeah, so I'm just, well, I don't know what happened to those sketches. Basically just making a part of this Raspberry Pi Are there like double ups of pins here? What's going on? Okay. Yeah, making a sketch that's linked to this part so that I can insert it into my skeleton model. Elk, I guess you're starting to see now that this process is not so glamorous as maybe it seems from the outside. I don't know what your impressions were. What do you think in general about... Oh, I mean, you're not so unfamiliar with design stuff, I guess. Yeah, you've done CAD work before. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I forgot. My bad. By the way, are you working at the moment, or you're not working, right? I think you said that. Come on, give me the point. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, that's why you've always doing so much music stuff, I guess. Which is fucking awesome. Living the dream. Come on, give me the corner. There it is. Dude, I gotta only have to be disabled and on a fixed income to live. Oh shit. Is it a... Was it a work related thing? Military service, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what the disability is, but I hope that it's not too too much of too inflicting on your day-to-day life. What the hell is going on here? I get to do stuff I like doing every day. Yeah, that's awesome. My quality of life is great. Hell yeah, man. Is this crooked? Why is there a gap there? Alright, getting there. We got a well, I got on my phone before. Like I was just standing in this room over there, and all of a sudden my phone started vibrating, and I looked down and there was this message saying like, what did it say? Let's see if I can show you. It says, emergency alert. Wait, here we go. Emergency alert extreme. And I was like, are we getting nuked? Like my phone was vibrating and it was giving me this message. I was like, okay, here we go. This is all over. Putin's doing it. But it wasn't. There was a fire nearby. And hopefully, I don't know how bad the fire is, but hopefully everybody's okay. But yeah, I don't think it warranted the extreme warning, for me at least. But I have to say, the moment that my phone started vibrating and making noises and stuff, and then I looked down and says like alert extreme, I had a pretty significant panic moment. I was like, this is the end. Dude, why can't I select any of these points? Come on. What the hell? Come on, there's an edge there. Give me the edge. Give me the end of this line. So close. Okay, there we go. Now I should be able to bring this into my skeleton. I think. Yep. Perfect. And I should be able to get this out of the way. This sketch is already so heavy. I might have to slim it down a bit, I think. Oh, this is slow. Really? Every time? I think I'm gonna get rid of these, that might help. Sorry, I was getting a little bit in the zone there. Oops, if you've been chatting to me, I had to step away for a bit. Nah, no stress, man. What did I say? I did say something. Selling off gear. Oh yeah. How's that going, by the way? Oh, what? I thought I unselected that line before I deleted. I need to simplify this sketch before I do anything. Not too bad. I only have 6k more of gear to offload. Shit, dude. But how fun is music gear? I think what I'm gonna do on this sketch is I'm only gonna put. Oh no. I was gonna say I'm only gonna put the electrical components on here. Well, it's great and all. I just bought stuff that isn't for me. Yeah, I mean we all do that, and our tastes change over time as well. Our tastes and we develop, what, like we learn more and more about how we would like to do things, and we keep adapting our setup to meet that. I think it's normal. I think I'm gonna break everything here, but fuck it. I want to redo this anyway. Um, don't want these here anymore. Oh, why is everything broken? True, I decided to offload my Octatrack, and that is why my offloading price jumped. Yeah, that's a big one. I have a lot of sequences, and to be honest, I'm arpeggio based for a lot of work, and I have dedicated unit for arpeggiation. Yeah, makes sense. What are all these? Why are they broken? Is it this thing again? Okay, weird. I also hate making music. Oh, dude, I'm laughing because I don't know why, but that just hit me on a it hit me on a spiritual level. Love sound design though. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I interpreted it the wrong way. I think what you said, I interpreted it as like you were just like hating making music. Just because like it's something that you love and you hate at the same time, because sometimes it frustrates the hell out of you, and sometimes it's amazing, and that's the way I interpreted it. But maybe it was not your initial intention. That's how I meant it. Yeah. To be honest, I think I'm more into composition than than sound design. I think we are a little bit different in that sense. But come up with the best stuff when you're not recording. Yeah, totally. Yeah, as soon as you sit down to do something, it's like, and there's a whole bunch of psychological blockers that prevent us from actually making music. And yeah, I've been suffering with that for years as well. Like lately, I haven't been making any music. Yeah, I don't know. It's something it's hard to convince yourself to do it sometimes. But you seem really good at it, to be honest. Like, you actually get shit done. You get a lot of stuff done, a lot more stuff done than me. Raya8, hi there. Hey man, or woman, or non-gendered person. Sorry, that was awkward. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I missed a month or so of streams. How's it going? I'd love to tell you that, that everything has changed, but it's not that much has changed yet. It's going good. Last night I met with the rest of the team, and we spoke a lot about our progress and what's coming up and everything. So I'm feeling good. Yeah, right now I'm just like fixing some things up in my my skeleton model. Sorry, had a mental blank. And I'm gonna put a Raspberry Pi in here today, hopefully. Although I've been doing this for a long time and haven't managed to get it in yet, but should be coming very soon. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. I still haven't figured out my script that I wanted to make to copy sketch entities with their external references. Been talking to people in forums, and I've even made some videos about it to try to explain it in forums, but yeah, I haven't had any luck yet, so doing these things the long way. But making progress, I think. I really should have checked what the distance was between those buttons before I deleted them all. Whatever. I'm going to sort that out later. I'm going to put this Raspberry Pi in here. How have you been? Rhea? What have you been doing for the last month? Have I been doing this for a month already? Jesus. Feels like I just started. Probably should have achieved a lot more by now. But I'm learning, I'm learning how to, I know how to do CAD, but I'm learning how to stream while I do CAD, and doing well, writing tons of music and looking for work still. How's the job hunt going? And I can't remember what kind of music do you make? Wait, why did all the dimensions get weird like that? That's better. Still trying to figure out how to set up a Raspberry Pi Groovebox. Oh, nice. That's alright. Alright, Cynthia electronic stuff. So, what's your hurdles with the Groovebox? And how are your skills with Pi? Because mine are non-existent. I'm currently just trying to figure out how to fit a Pi into a box. Mine are very basic. I can install software that someone else has written. Yeah. Maybe I could handle that. That sounds like a job for me. I mean, that's the way to learn though, right? So, but are you trying to write your own software then for this Groovebox, or you want to, is it more of a hardware thing, a hardware project? I don't think I should go the programming route. I'd rather just throw together some existing open source software so I can loop and whatnot. Yeah, it's a good plan. Sounds good to me. What's the goal for making the Groovebox? Like, do you want to do something that that isn't possible with other devices, or do you want to you just want to try building something, or? Man, this is a lot of equal relations. I want to run a sampler, like decent sampler, in some kind of VST/DAW environment that I can run without a screen. Have a few encoders pots to adjust a few basic effects and parameters. VST/DAW like environment. Do you mean the VST/DAW running on the Pi? Or you want to use the Pi to control a computer or something? Then be able to loop it with a few simple buttons, a couple of tracks, etc. Then, yeah. Sounds like a perfect mod device use case. Could be. Yeah, the Pi as well as another microcontroller. For audio processing. That's what I've seen a few people doing, at least. Another microcontroller for audio processing. I would have thought the the Pi would be good for audio processing, and maybe the other microcontroller could be used for like shit. The other microcontroller could be used for like the controls. It's basically a hardware plug-in host. Yeah, exactly. So, Elk brought it up because I used to work for Mod Devices, and Elk and I met in the forums there because he was using the device to make some pretty cool music. I may be wrong, but I've seen folks using Teensy as a sound card essentially. Oh yeah. Yeah, but I think Teensy would be less powerful than the Pi. Because Teensy is basically like an Arduino. Like it has a similar kind of processor, but I would have thought it's less powerful. Almost done. Alright, sweet. Now, when I rotate this, let me save this. When I rotate this thing, is it going to break all my relations? Well, didn't break the equal relations, but it broke all the horizontal and vertical relations. Whoops. So I'm gonna make this one vertical. Come on, man, what the hell? I'm guessing there are a few existing devices to do what I'd like. The new Ableton Push, for example, can take multiple USB MIDI devices and it samples / loops. So that might be the easier route. But I think I'd like to something DIY and difficult. Yeah, I feel yeah. Once again, I'm laughing because I feel that on a spiritual level. Although I don't usually admit that I do something because it's difficult. Or I don't like to think that I'm doing something because it's difficult. They also run about 1K. Yeah, it's true. They're not cheap. They do look very cool though. 2K. Yeah. Yeah, depending which one you get. Because I think there's just a controller version. And like the standalone device. Yeah, 1K. 1K is just the controller, 2K is standalone. Yeah. It does look very cool though. Have I even talked about that on stream yet? Like, I'm a big Ableton fan. And I've been wondering when they're gonna release this device for years. Love the aesthetic, but don't use Ableton. That's right, yeah. You said it was a bit too spreadsheet for you. Why can't I make this perpendicular? Oh, I can. Yeah, I don't know. The device is super cool though. I just didn't want to learn another DAW. That's right, yeah. Yeah. But the device is super cool. Like, for me, honestly, I prefer working in a DAW over standalone stuff. But it's really cool that they've gone into the standalone world now, because it opens up a whole new realm of customers for them. People who don't even want to touch a computer, you can do some crazy stuff with it. I started with a tracker. Doesn't get much more Microsoft Excel than that. Yeah. It is pretty much an Excel spreadsheet, 100%. Standalone runs Ableton internally, I think. That's pretty awesome. At that point, might as well just buy a laptop and pair it with an older push model. Yeah, I can see that. Like, it is pretty clean that you can just run it as one device, and it's probably pretty optimized. Like, it might not be, obviously, yeah, they are running some kind of Ableton inside it, but it might be like a more optimized stream, like slim down maybe. I mean, it doesn't need to run a GUI or anything. And they know exactly what hardware it's running with, like what the CPU is, what the interface is, and everything. So like, they can probably optimize it a lot for that device. Maybe it performs a lot better than regular Ableton on a computer where they don't know what the hardware is. Is this link safe to watch? I'm gonna vet it. Not that I don't trust you. Watch it later. I just want to see what it is. Ableton push has gone too far. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'll check it out. It's pretty funny. What's funny about it? That sounded like aggressive, but I'm just curious. Redman's recording is a salty man. He lives not far from me. Oh, really? Whereabouts is not far from you? I mean, you don't need to give me like the town, just roughly, like country maybe. East of Seattle. Oh, cool. It's crazy how, even though I'm an Australian and I live in Germany, when I look at my YouTube analytics, it's like 70% American. I guess there's a lot of people in America. Oh shit, didn't realize he was north of me. Oh, maybe I'll find him and make him buy my noodle box. We consume all, yeah. Gotta love that. It makes sense. YouTube's an American company, so yeah. And there's a shitload of people in America. I mean, the only other places where there's more people in America that are using YouTube are like Europe and then countries that speak other languages. Like India, for example, or like South America. China, I don't think have access. And Australia only has like 25 million people, so even if, I don't know. I stopped buying gear because of that fool. You start making you hate all your gear. Or did it make you feel guilty for buying certain devices? Okay, finally. This thing is movable. And if I delete that relation, I can rotate it. Oh, why does that change shape? Ah, I know why. Uh-oh. Do I need that line actually? Probably not. Yeah, I tried out some of his recommendations, didn't like them. They're all on sale on my page. Okay, well, that says something about him then, doesn't it? But to be honest, I just don't care for his music. So his gear recommendations aren't useful to my style. Well, I don't know him too well, to be honest. Let me check. I think I've seen some of his videos. I don't want to judge him. What's this page you have? Ah, right, where he's selling gear. My Sweetwater gear page. Wait, Redmond's recording is Jeremy Blake. Okay. He's a funny cat, but he's a gear merchant. Same with Ziv. Who's Ziv? Sorry, I'm so out of the loop. I notice his content has become more meta. He discusses what it's like being a rich gear hoarder. Yeah. It's hard enough being a poor gear hoarder, trying to convince yourself to make music with the gear that you've got. Whereas if you're constantly getting sent new gear and buying new gear, I can imagine it'd be hard to get stuff done. Or maybe not, I don't know. Sorry, Loopop is Ziv. Ah, right. I was thinking that maybe it's Loopop. Yeah. Okay. You think he's a gear merchant? I always got the impression like he's pretty You know, he always makes a point of giving disclaimers like, you know, this company sent this to me, no money exchanged hands, blah blah blah. So I got the impression that like he he's not trying to like sell you shit. Okay, I need to make a little cutout in this PC boy. Loopop is an odd one. He's got no musical abilities whatsoever. Really? I think some of the demos he does are pretty good. His videos are generally unbiased, but his channel is basically just there to sell gear for companies. You reckon? Maybe. I think he just creates like good analysis of products, I guess. Like he points out good and bad things. You know, I don't know if I can say too many things about my experience with him. I've never talked to him. But when I was working at Mod, he reviewed it. I'm pretty sure one of us reached out to him and said like, hey, we got this product, you want to check it out? And I think all he said was like, yeah, I'm keen to check it out. I would like if I can be the first one to make a video about it. I think. Don't quote me on that. And that was all the communication that there was, I think. We sent it to him and he reviewed it. And we all watched it religiously. Not religiously. We watched it under a microscope to be like, okay, what's he like? What's he not like? What can we change and stuff? I think what he did was really valuable. And he didn't tell us anything about what he was going to say. And like, sorry, I just missed your messages. He's definitely improved over the years. Very detailed, helpful videos for sure. I bought a dwarf of his recommendation. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people found it through him. Like, it was awesome that he was willing to do a video about it because because he's got a big platform. But like, I was super impressed by how well he understood the device, because it's a hard device even to market, because it's a bit of a like does everything kind of device. So yeah, it's hard to really like show what the value is, and it's also really hard to explain how it works and what it does even. But he's just figured everything out. You know what I mean? Like he just knew. He really went into detail. Like he did things in his demonstration that I had not yet tried on the device. And like at that moment, because I was so focused on the design, like the mechanical design, at that moment when he made the video, if you were going to ask me or him how to do something on the device, like if you were asking me about it, I would tell you ask him, because he knows better than me. Maybe I shouldn't be admitting that. What's going on here? Why is this? Why is this line on the piece? What the hell? Ah, the midpoint. Oh shit. Oh, this is bad. He's a great gear merchant. He's super knowledgeable in terms of how the principles work. I believe he's primarily a sound designer, and his technical know-how is immense. Yeah, it shows. Like, he was so methodical about, like, you can do this, 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 and this, and this, and this. This isn't currently available yet. This is something that I thought of that would be really helpful. I hope they bring this in a feature update. It can do this, it can't do this, it can do this, can do this. Like, it's crazy. His analysis was insane. Okay, can this... Why is it doing that? I need to get these jacks out of the way. What the hell? Are you driving the model of this skeleton? Yes. Yep. And I'm currently breaking a lot of things in the skeleton, so I'm a bit scared to open the assembly now. What is happening here? Okay, that worked. Get these jacks out of here. Honestly, his videos are so in-depth that he's usually the final video I watch before I decide to buy or not. He focuses less on sound and a lot on the workflow. The workflow is so important to see beforehand. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and he shows all the settings and all the different ways of operating and stuff. It's super helpful. This is the way. Nobody taught us this in school, but having a single part in the assembly with all of your skeletons is the best practice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A single part with all of your skeletons is the best practice. That's exactly what I'm doing here. So yeah, this one part gets inserted into every other part as the first feature in every part. And then I also insert this into the assembly and I link the positions of everything into this. It's like, yeah. I think I said this in one of the earlier videos. It's like, this is like the industry standard practice, but they don't teach you to do this in uni for whatever reason. But I agree, it's the way to go. And I did it, the other ways for a long time in the past. And yeah, I'm pretty confident. Like, I've learned through doing that this way works best for me, at least. It's the most, like, failure proof, I guess. Genius? I don't know. Maybe I'm not I don't know if I'm a genius, but this method is, I think, genius. If that's what you mean. Probably shouldn't assume you meant that I was a genius. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. Alright. I want this lined up there. And this can go maybe I'll set it back just a little bit. 0.5. Then space the PCB around it, like 2 mil of clearance would probably be good. Some equal lines in there so I have less dimensions. And then, yeah, I need to fix those buttons. Do that later. What's going on here? What even is that? Okay, don't know what that was. Alright, let's see how much stuff is... Oh, there's already stuff broken in my skeleton. Yikes. Uh-oh. Shit. Have no fear. I will fix this. I don't know. Put it there for now. Uh-oh. Ding dong. Ding dong. What's broken here? Huh? Rhea, I forget. You're a SolidWorks user, right? Or are you using a different CAD software? Ding dong. Oh yeah, this is bad. Ooh. I'm gonna sort this out later. SolidWorks and Fusion for hobby stuff, and Cartier and NX for professional. Whew. You're a bilingual, quadlingual. That sounds ding dong. Oh, everything's broken. Fuck it. I'm gonna delete my buttons for now. I stumble a bit in Fusion and Carcher. SolidWorks is my favorite by far. Really? What is it about Fusion that you stumble on? Because I've considered trying it more seriously, like swapping. Well, not swapping, but using it for like more personal stuff. What is this doing here? I've totally messed up my buttons. Whatever. I never learned to do mates properly, and there is some strange functionality with freezing and unfreezing timelines that I don't get. Hey, look at that. I didn't even edit my PCB part, and it has the right shape. Holy shit. I didn't even know that was going to happen. You see that? This PCB has like the cutout that I was sketching in, but I didn't even edit that part. Sometimes things work better than I even anticipated. Parametric AF, yeah, hell yeah. Like, I don't even know how I set that up to happen, but not arguing, not complaining, it's sweet. Lucky James is Australian, he's great with mates. Yeah, mate. You know it. Yeah, I don't know. The only reason why I didn't try getting more into Fusion is because I always extrude from a vertex on the skeleton model to a vertex on the skeleton model. So like, if I've got a sketch on the right plane and I drew something on the top plane, I'll start the extrude from like this point on that sketch and then like end it at this point or something. So it's just like extruding down like that. And I think in Fusion, as far as I know, you can't extrude from a sketch vertex to a sketch vertex. Like, you can only extrude from a plane to a plane, or like a face to a face, or a plane to a face, or I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. Okay, now I need to position the pie. And I think I'm going to position it with this point. PCB top. That's not gonna work. I'm gonna make this to I made this to that. Yeah, that'll work. Sweet. So then I should only be able to adjust the height. Oh, I didn't do concentric. Damn it. Sweet. Now I just need to constrain the height. So I need to put another sketch in there from the right on the front plane so I know where these points will end up. I recall coming across things like that. Can't think of anything specific, but I do like that function in SolidWorks. I like having many inputs to control features. Yeah. I like having the most basic inputs to control features. Like, I find a lot of times when I explain to people in forums and stuff, like, oh, I want to do this with my skeleton model and blah, blah, blah. They're like, why don't you just use like a pattern or like a mirror or like whatever? And I'm like, maybe I can, but, and maybe I can't verbalize why I don't want to use a pattern right now, but like the 10 years of using this program has ingrained in my head, don't use patterns. Because I think there's just been so many times when they've failed on me that I'm like, no, I just do everything with sketches now. Just link things to sketches. Sketches don't fail. They're simple, mostly unbreakable, easy to diagnose. Yeah. Fusion lost me a bit when they neutered the free version. Yeah, that's true. I feel like they removed half the functionality just despite the hobby folk. Yeah, I heard that they like limited the number of parts you can have in an assembly and stuff. Don't know if that's true. Even sketch patterns are annoying and fail. Yeah, never use sketch patterns. I literally draw everything in. I don't even use sketch fillets. Like, I don't even trust sketch fillets. I'll rather draw two lines and an arc and then make the arc tangent to both the two lines on every single corner. I rather do that than use sketch fillets just because it's so much more reliable. They limit the number of editable files you can save. Ah, yeah. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. Well, I can tell you've probably had a lot of the same problems that I've had then. I just saw the time. Thinking I might end it. Just gonna get rid of all these switches because I totally messed them up with when I deleted all my sketches. But it's for the best. Sketch was getting too heavy and I needed to refresh it. So the buttons will come back in the next video. They're going on a holiday. I'm heading out. Good to catch you guys again. Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for joining in. I'm probably gonna finish up now, so yeah, you won't miss out, don't worry. Yeah, good chatting. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. Ah, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Oh, that's what I keep forgetting to do. I need to make like a latest follower thing. You know what I mean? I don't know if people like that or not. Latest follower thing. Didn't need a right thing. But whatever. Okay. Oh, look how much of a squeeze this is to get it in here. Maybe I need to make the device a bit bigger. Yeah, I think I do. That gap is a little bit big. Maybe I can reduce that. Okay, well, good session. We now have a cutout in the PCB and there is a Pi living in that little hole, which is pretty cool. Broke all the buttons. They're on hiatus. The Pi is house sitting, but they will be back and in greater numbers. But no, not in greater numbers. They'll just be better defined by their positions. Definitely coming along. Yeah, very slowly but surely. Very slowly but surely coming along. Need to put some holes in the enclosure for the jacks. Need to define the height of this Pi. Need to bring the buttons back, and then I need to model some potentiometers. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Alrighty. Save. Cool. Thanks for joining in, guys. Yeah, peace out, dude. And for anybody watching this after as a recording, thanks for clicking. Thanks for watching. And would be very much appreciated if you enjoyed the video. Give it a like. You can follow me or subscribe on the YouTube or follow me on Twitch or any of the other socials. Feel free to ask me any questions, make any suggestions about the design, about my streaming, yeah, whatever you feel like. Have a good night, James. I'll catch you next stream as usual. Thank you so much for joining, man. Like, at some point, you know, I can understand if you can't make it to the stream, and it's going to be a little bit heartbreaking, but I imagine it's going to have to happen at some point. But I'm so glad that you've been here every time so far. It's been really good having someone to talk to, so very much appreciate it. But yeah, don't feel like you need to drop everything to join in. But it's great that you're here. Love it. But yeah, cool. So thanks for joining and see you on the next one.